Just before 7 o'clock on Friday the 16th of September 2016, a London-bound Class 350 Desiro passenger train operated by London Midland was operating as normal. The train formed of 8 coaches and formed the head code 2 Kilo 04, with the 2 units being 350-264 and 350-117. The train had just departed King's Langley Station on a service to London Euston. The train was burning up speed, and on approach to the Watford tunnels, the signal, Whiskey Tango 5126, was displaying a double yellow aspect. The driver acknowledged his warning, and before they even realised, struck a landslip at the entrance of the Watford Slow Line tunnel. It was immediately obvious that something was wrong. The front coach of 350-264 derailed and began sliding along the track ballast on an angle. The rest of the coaches remained on the rails. After what seemed like hours, but was closer to a few dozen seconds, the train slid to a halt. 350-264 immediately showed problems, with the vacuum circuit breaker opening and the pantograph disconnecting from the overhead electrical wires. The rear unit's pantograph remained connected. Without a second to doubt, the driver slammed the emergency call on the GSMR radio and turned their hazard warning lights on. The emergency message was received throughout the Watford area, including the train 2 Yankee 59, formed of 350-233, which was already in the tunnels. The driver of 2 Yankee 59 spotted 2 Kilo 04 in the distance with its hazard lights on and the emergency call on the radio, but assumed that the trouble was up the line. The driver of 2 Yankee 59 entered full service braking instead of emergency braking, reducing the train's speed. However, it was too late when the driver of 2 Yankee 59 noticed that 350-264 had come off the tracks. 350-233 slammed into the side of 350-264 and scraped along the side until coming to a stop 10 seconds later. The train was struck around 33 miles an hour and both units' cab doors were ripped off in the impact. The driver of 2 Kilo 04 rang the signaller to report that they just derailed and also been struck by 2 Yankee 59. Emergency assistance was requested. At this point it was now 5 to 7 and the event had only just occurred. After this follows the rescue attempts. The driver of 2 Kilo 04 was trapped in the cab due to the saloon doors being unable to open far enough for them to fit through. Due to the pantograph of 350-264 disconnecting, the driver shut off systems such as air conditioning to prevent a spread of any potential fire that could have been generated during the events. 350-264 was now running on its emergency battery setting, also known as a battery normal. Most lighting remained on and cab unit communications were still active. The driver decided to remain in their cab to communicate with the signaller. The rear unit of 2 Kilo 04, 350-117 was undamaged, but was unable to be uncoupled from 350-264 due to there not being pantograph connection on that unit. 350-117 remained in normal condition with full power. This situation was the case on 350-233, although the unit had a lot of side damage. The train manager on 2 Kilo 04 was in the centre of the train when the incident occurred. She walked towards the front of the unit but was unable to access the front coach due to the sharp bend cutting it off. The driver was contacted and the train manager communicated with the driver, and by checking all the passengers were alright. They made an announcement informing nobody was hurt, including the driver. Most of the passengers moved from 350-264 to 350-117, as 350-117 was in a much better condition. This was vital because the battery on 350-264 was beginning to deplete, and at around 20 to 8, all power was lost in the cab, and 15 minutes later, the lighting rapidly reduced to emergency lighting. 350-264 was now in battery direct mode. By this time, most people were already evacuating 350-264, as the lighting dropped and dropped more. The shift in battery status caused the vacuum circuit breaker in 350-117 to open, which caused the pantograph to drop in that unit and also initiate emergency power. About half an hour after this, 350-264 loses full power and the unit shuts down. 350-117 enters conservation mode around 15 minutes later, reducing the lighting even more. By this time, rescue had been attempted multiple times. The plan was for 350-117 to uncouple and drive out of the tunnel under its own power, but with 350-264 having reduced power, it was unable to uncouple from 350-117, and therefore the trains were stuck together. A Virgin Trains Class 221 was then set in place. The unit entered the tunnel at 7 minutes past 10 to assist passengers. However, half an hour earlier, at 24 minutes past 9, 350-117 fully lost power and shut down, meaning both units were now without power or lighting, leaving passengers and crew in the dark. The Class 221 Super Voyager successfully recovered between 270 and 290 passengers and crew members. A few passengers were treated for minor injuries, but for the most part everyone was okay. 350-262 was very damaged and was sent back to Germany alongside 350-233, where they were repaired. All 3 units affected in the incident are still in service as of this video with London North Western Railway, which took over from London Midland in December 2017. Now for the problem, removing 3 stranded units out of the tunnels. 350-117 was arguably the easiest to recover as it had no damage, apart from the dust and gravel which it grinded when the train skidded across the ballast. The line reopened on Monday the 19th of September once all units had been dragged away and the line had been repaired, alongside a very large investigation on the main bit. How did it happen? The catalyst of this incident was indeed the landslide. There had been an increased amount of rainfall that week, and the rainfall led to a washout failure on the cutting slope near and the landslide to occur. Staff were reportedly unaware. New learning points were generated from this incident, these being that works checking pre-construction records and the integrity of embankments should be checked to reveal any critical incidents that any of them could create. The incident also goes to show how safe the railway is, and how the GSMR most likely saved lives that day, as it reduced the collision speed by nearly 3 times. It shows how good the group call feature is, and also how well train staff work together. From the drivers to the train managers to the rescue teams to the helpers, this event was steadily managed, and also shows why the guard should be kept on the train. Now let's ask, how do we prevent this? However, Network Rail have already taken measures to prevent another event like this. Let's be grateful for the quick thinking of the driver who possibly saved many lives that fateful day.